Marauders, welcome back to the channel. Some of you have asked about the vehicles in my driveway and asked about my BMW X540i, and I have it. So I want to do a quick overview of this vehicle because this is the last day, the last morning I'm going to have it. I got this vehicle in May of 2023. It was an early release by BMW. I've never had a BMW X or SUV vehicle. I've had their all-wheel drive cars. And my salesman over the years kept telling me I should try an X5. They newly redesigned it with a new engine, raising the horsepower from, I think, 325, let's say, to 378 horsepower. Also added, it's a mild hybrid. There's a 48-volt electric motor on the transmission. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Redesigned the body, redesigned the interior where the dashboard and infotainment system is all one. I'll show you that on the vehicle. So I've had this from 2023 May. I've had it over 2 years, maybe 2 years, 4 months. And I put 30,000 miles on it, which is a lot of miles for me to put on a vehicle. This is a company vehicle, I do let other people outside myself use it to travel short 4-hour drives for work, to put the miles on a company vehicle and not on their personal vehicle. And I have to tell you, rarely do I buy the same vehicle back to back. I may try to do something different. I'm preparing for retirement, and in the next 2 to 3 years, hopefully. So I'm no longer going to have two vehicles. My F-150 truck, which is at a camera shop, but we'll show you that. That's more than likely going to go away in October, first week in October. I thought this vehicle was worthy of doing a quick review for all of you. So I have 30,000 miles on it. It has not been back to the dealer except for one recall I can't remember. Other than oil changes and tire rotations, there has been no warranty issues on the vehicle. It's been perfect. The fuel mileage, most of my driving, like it is on the motorcycle, is I'm in a suburb outside of Buffalo by about 20 miles east of Buffalo. Most of my driving is let's say city, but I'll say rural city, rural town driving, 40 to 45 miles an hour with small stints. Maybe during the course of the week I might drive 10 miles on the thruway. The fuel mileage on this vehicle is 26 miles per gallon to 27 miles per gallon, which I consider city driving, and it resets itself every time I fill up. I think that 26 miles per gallon is outstanding for a vehicle that can pull 7,500 pounds. I did get the trailer package on it, and I've pulled about 5,000 pounds with it. Engine performance, so the fuel mileage is excellent. On the highway, I want to say it will get 30, low 30s. Fuel mileage is excellent. Performance of the engine, this is the inline, 3-liter inline 6-cylinder from BMW. Obviously, they've been making it for decades. They've been redefining it. They call it different names. It is probably the best 6-cylinder engine ever made. It is probably, no doubt, the best inline 6-cylinder ever made. Mercedes-Benz in this class of vehicle and in their cars had a V6 engine for years and years and years. Now all of a sudden Mercedes has an inline 6-cylinder like BMW, almost matching it spec for spec. I believe even it has an electric motor on the transmission. So the performance on this, it has 378 horsepower, I think, 398 foot-pounds of torque. My truck with a 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine has 400 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. So where this has 100 foot-pounds less torque than my truck, it almost has as much horsepower, and it just is an awesome performing engine. I found it with V8 engines in BMW and Mercedes, It's like riding a 990 Duke KTM motorcycle as opposed to a 1390 Super Duke KTM motorcycle. The V8, the Super 90, 1390 Super Duke has so much power, you're only using first and second gears, and you really don't get to experience the engine, the full range of the engine. The same thing with Mercedes and BMW V8 engines. They have so much power that you really don't ever hear them wind up if you're driving normally, because they're constantly lugging around town. This engine doesn't overwork to move the vehicle. It works enough where you can thoroughly enjoy the engine. Its 0 to 60 is 5.2 seconds, which I think is very fast for an SUV. In 1983, Ford redesigned the Ford Mustang GT with a V8, 225 horsepower, I remember it. And it was the fastest vehicle made in Detroit. It was either faster than the Magnum PI Ferrari 0 to 60. And it did 0 to 60, and I want to say 6.2, 6.5 seconds. This vehicle, and even my wife's four-cylinder BMW, is faster than that Ford Mustang GT, which was in 1985, which was the fastest car out of Detroit. Excellent engine. It's coupled to an 8-speed transmission. It has a 48-volt electric motor on the transmission. They call it a mild hybrid, which really does an outstanding job to boosting your fuel economy around town. A little bit it helps on the highway, but really around town, stopping and starting, it really helps out. It does shut itself off when you stop. I don't even notice it anymore. Sometimes if you move it slowly, all I hear is the electric motor. Sometimes when I'll let someone drive the vehicle, is hear the electric motor pulling out of my driveway. It works very well. So performance is excellent, fuel economy is excellent, transmission, mild hybrid, electric motor on the transmission is excellent. Tow hauling for the class that it's in, I think is also excellent. Electronics, it runs away with it. I am leasing. My vehicle that I'm picking up today is going to be a BMW X7. Ford and BMW and GM in their SUVs and trucks are the only vehicles that will drive themselves on the thruway. I think the Cadillac may go beyond that, but where the cost to have self-driving on the thruway on this is $1,200, and on the truck, I think they call it Blue Cruise on the Ford F-150. The cost to drive on the thruway on a GM product, I think, is over $4,000, definitely over $3,500. And it does do more. I'm getting another BMW because it will drive itself on a thruway or state roads, certain roads. And it actually drives on those roads better than I can drive on the roads. So once I think it's called Driver Assist Pro, once that engages, it has a sensor on the dashboard, instrument cluster that's watching your eyes, even with sunglasses on. And if you're not focused on the road, it gets angry and will give you warnings, and then it will shut itself off. If I'm looking at the infotainment system, it knows I am. It wants and alarms me. It wants you to focus on the road. It's an amazing system. It does a better job of staying in the lane, and again, adaptive cruise control, regulating the distance from the vehicle in front of you, does a better job than I can do driving, especially on the windy day in an SUV or a truck. Even though I'm focused on the road, I'm intent on watching the road, it's much more relaxing and less fatiguing to have a vehicle that will drive itself on the interstate or even state roads, rural state roads. It is an outstanding feature. So I like this vehicle so much, I bought another one, and I hear now that it has which I probably won't use, but it has in the trailer tow package that you can use the toggle on the console to back up your vehicle and trailer when you're towing. That should be interesting. I'll give you a quick walk around. I don't even pay attention to rim sizes anymore, although my new vehicle is going to have black rims, which I think are 22-inch rim. The tires on this are all seasons tires. They were very good. This does have the M Sport appearance package, which I think blacks out things on the front of the grille. And in that, I think it's a separate, you get different brakes, bigger color-coded brake calipers. In the tow package, you get a hitch insert with also the connections for your trailer lights and braking system. This does not have a third row. If you get inside the vehicle, I do not like black interiors. Another thing, I've had black interiors on vehicles for years. But the interior is beautiful. Let's give you a start up. That's a look at the dashboard. Excellent. I don't know if it's going to show up, but there is also an excellent heads-up display. That's where this cutout is. That gives you your speed, your navigation, the street speed limit. Not going to get into any of that. Here is where the sensor is to watch your eyes when you're driving. The alerts will come up here, and these will flash if you're doing something wrong. Little lights here will flash if you're doing something wrong. It does have a full sunroof, which is nice, which I can never use that because people don't want the sun on them. I don't get it either. This has a base stereo system for an X5, which is good. Another interesting feature that I like, other than the self-driving, adaptive cruise control, lane alert, it has a feature where if you push this button, you can control through your driver's control the seat next to you. And that's really handy because this is how my brother and my daughter leave the seat when they get out, like that. So I always have to fix the seat. That's the interior. It's excellent. I won't show you the back storage compartment, storage area. That's boring. It does not have a third row. The X7 will have a third row. That's my review of my BMW X5, which I've had for over 2 years, 30,000 miles. Excellent vehicle. If you're interested in a vehicle in this class, I'd highly recommend that you try it. The X7 has an air suspension, which I like for ride. It rides much better, not much better, but better than this for comfort and for towing. This vehicle's suspension is a little stiffer. It feels much lighter. It feels much lighter. That's it, Marauders. Please consider liking the video, sharing it with a friend, and subscribing to my channel. And we'll say goodbye to the BMW 2024 BMW X5. Great vehicle. Served me well. Take care, guys. So the first time in October, the first time in probably over 40 years, I haven't had a pickup truck. Time to move towards retirement.